I studied drama.
You studied drama at NYU.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that you might be the only drama student that was on the club squash team.
Well,
is
there
that
was,
true or not?
I was the only drama student, but there's a champion in Canada who is studying film at NYU.
Oh, so there were two of you.
Yeah, there's two.
There were two of
us.
you. That's
Yeah.
great. I'm going to count film and drama, same department.
Yeah.
Same.
Tisch.
Same.
Tisch School of the Arts. Yeah.
Here we are for another edition of Boast About It. My name is James Green and I'm with Abigail Arader. Abigail,
Oh my gosh.
welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Abigail is a member of our squash community here. You're an actress.
Yeah.
And you do a bunch of other things. And I understand your father was a squash champion.
Yes. Well, it was hardball when he was playing, and he was all Ivy, all American 3 years in a row. He was like, I think fourth in the country at some point. But yeah, it was a different game before they transferred to squash.
I love that. I'm not a hardball fan.
Yeah.
And you just said, you mean the transition from hardball to squash? And so implying that
hardball.
softball is the squash and hardball is not squash.
Some people,
And I love it. I love it.
Someone's gonna get upset about that. But he was so happy about the transfer. He was like, this was like very needed. It's a much more elegant game in his opinion. Not my words, not my words.
I agree with him.
Yeah, I think he just, but you know, there's some hardball.
And your father should know something about elegance. I mean, he runs art galleries, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he started his art gallery Arader auctions that's on 78th and Madison. He started it in his dorm at Yale. So yeah, his college experience was just squash and selling art from his dorm room.
oh my God,
I know.
squash and art. We just
Yeah.
finished an interview with Raghu.
Who's the
Who
yeah.
was like, I want to explore the connection between squash and art. Like,
There's a lot of parallels. I mean, it's such an elegant game. I've started to really see how squash is kind of like chess in a way. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like just thinking like 3 moves ahead and like falling in love with the game. I remember like my brother is a fantastic player. He's like a 6'2", you know, he's incredible. He's been playing his whole life, and I was like, what makes you want to keep playing like after all these years? Because he's been playing, oh my God, he's 20 now, and he started when he was 5, and he was like, I'm just in love with the game, and you know, figuring out different tactics and strategies, and like he's just so obsessed with it. And watching him play is like, it's such a joy. Like you can really tell he loves figuring out different players and their strategies and how to like win the match. And it's I don't know if you feel this way, but sometimes when I'm playing, it gets so emotional.
yeah.
And you know, you let your brain sort of take over, and you're not really thinking about the points as they go. And I think like having that sort of mindset of, wait, squash is a game. I feel like my dad said that a lot. Squash is a game. Just
Yeah.
have fun. Like don't overthink it, because it's so easy to overthink.
It is
Yeah.
so true. I like to call myself a mediocre middle-aged man when I'm with my
Why
squash.
would you say that?
just to bring down the level, like to remind ourselves, like, I'm not going to win the Olympics. I'm not going to, you know, just
Yeah.
it's like, you know, it's not that serious. We're supposed to have fun out there. But what's amazing about the sport, and I think it's a great strength, is you get so emotionally attached to it.
Yes.
You know, and
For
you get
sure.
emotionally attached to the outcomes, and you're like, oh my God, I should have got that shot. What did I do?
I know, it's yeah, if anyone knows, it's me. I know exactly, that feeling is so real. You know, it's like, because you're in this like cage. Oh my God, I said cage, but like it's like
did.
this box where
Yeah.
everything is so condensed, and like your emotions are just 5 times what they would be in sort of an open air field, you know? I don't know if that makes sense.
It's definitely concentrated, not diluted.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. it
So,
is.
you said your brother played from 5, and you know,
Yeah.
I knew he was good when he was in the same room with Diego Elias, world number 2, and they gave each other a hug. So I figured, you know, he's probably been playing squash a while. But but the implication there was that you were not playing squash that whole time.
No, no. I played a bit when I was younger, not like competitively. Like I think I did like 1 or 2 tournaments when I was a kid, but nothing like to the time and dedication that I'm putting in right now. But really it's the community open squash. Like I think without it, I wouldn't be playing as much as I do right now.
Abigail's here all the time.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Oh my
if
God.
you'd like to see Abigail, come to Open Squash.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's true.
Yeah, no, it's I'm
but
here quite
you're
often.
enthusiastic. You love it. What was it that made you sort of lean in? What was it?
Yeah, I started playing really competitively at NYU. It's just a club team, but I mean, for someone like me, like, you know, I'm an artist, I'm an actress, like, I love collaborating with people. I love being soft and, you know, understanding people's emotions, like the human condition, human emotions. Like, it's a complete 180 to what competitive squash is like in some ways.
Yeah. So what made you, so let's rewind back a
Yeah.
bit. You had played since you were 6, on and off.
Mm-hmm.
You go to NYU. What did you study at NYU?
I studied drama.
You studied drama at NYU.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that you might be the only drama student that was on the club squash team.
Well,
is
there
that
was,
true or not?
I was the only drama student, but there's another girl who was like a junior champion in Canada who is studying film at NYU.
Oh, so there were 2 of you.
Yeah, there's 2.
There were 2 of
us.
you. That's
Yeah.
great. I'm going to count film and drama, same department.
Yeah.
Same.
Tisch,
Same.
Tisch School of the Arts. Yeah.
So the 2 of you, what made, so she was a champion in Canada, so it makes sense. What made you sort of start playing at NYU?
I think it was like my senior year, and I was like, you know what?
Oh, so you didn't do it for all of the years, you only did it in the last one?
Yeah.
And you just decided, was it sort of a random thought?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I
You
think I
just-
just wanted to get the most out of my last year, and
You were just, so you went through all those years, your last year, you're like,
why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Some of the best things have happened to me because I did that for that reason.
Yeah.
Why not? So you do that, and then you graduated. And when did you graduate?
I graduated, oh my gosh, 2024. Yeah,
Last year?
yeah,
Only last year?
yeah,
Oh, so you joined Open Squash right as you graduated.
yeah,
And that's when you fell in love with our community.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know.
I love
It's
that
so
story.
special.
I love that story.
Yeah.
And I am here to tell you that, as an outside observer, your squash game has just radically improved. I'm sorry the club team couldn't have you now because you would do better.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was really special. But I think my mindset has dramatically changed as well.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, like I'm so much more calm on the court as opposed to before I would get so emotional. Just because I don't know what it was. I think I'm just not, it's just such a different mindset than what I'm used to. I'm used to being a performer. I think like being an athlete, you are performing, but it's so different when you're on stage. Like, I feel like when you're on stage or you're on set, everyone is like working together to create something that's very special, to like tell a story that is really important. And I've just always been used to that. I love being on a team and like working with people and creating something very special. And I think squash has taught me a completely different side to my mind and myself that I had no idea existed. I'm just so much more confident in myself and my decisions. I think as like women especially, like there is this, we live in a world where we're not necessarily like encouraged to make decisions individually, and I think squash has really taught me to embrace that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. There's only one of you on court. You're going to make that decision yourself.
Yeah.
And I do think there is, I also come originally from an artistic background. I was a musician.
Yes, you mentioned. So cool.
And I do think there is some similarity between squash and improvisation.
Yes, for sure.
Less with sort of reading music or reading a play, but more with improv on a stage or improvising in music, because squash is all about improvising in the moment. It is
100%. And like reading, especially with improvisation, like you have to read the room, you have to really feel the energy and be very in tune and intuitive with the other people. And I think like my background and like the reason I wanted to become an actress was to understand the human condition. Like I really wanted to, like I fell in love with Shakespeare and like how he was able to really dig into and understand like why people are doing the things that they do. And I really wanted, I don't know why, I just really wanted to like, just really fascinated with it. And squash it's the exact same thing. Like each player you play is very different and their styles are different. And I feel like in squash people are like, if someone hits hard, you hit soft. If someone hits soft, you hit hard. Like you're really trying to, it's like a musical improvisation you create with the other player. Yeah.
I'd love to learn a little more about your acting career.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So, how's it going?
It's going really well. I think ever since the strike, there was an writers strike a couple years ago, and it's forced a lot of like network television and films to shift towards like independent. Yeah. So, yeah, I think when I was in school, like I was preparing for like network television. Like my goal in life as an actress was to be in something like Suits or like a long-running TV series. And I like my first really big television gig was in Gossip Girl. I was in like season 2. They were going to bring me on for season 3, and then the strike happened, and I felt like, I mean, there was no work. Like even my friends who had been working for years and years consistently, I mean, it was just moot. And a lot of people that I know stopped acting. But I mean, for me, it's always been about creating work that pushes the needle. And so I became a producer. I started my own production company where I know, people need commercials. So yeah, it's been going really well. I mean, I've never been like a business owner before, and especially as an actor, you're conditioned to listen to the director, to follow the story and make sure, like the actor is the last person that is hired. And especially as a producer now, I'm learning what the production timeline is like. I mean, it's months and months and months of preparation, working with, I mean, it's like 100 people that it takes to make.
But before we go into those things, no, I want to go there. I want to do two things, and I know that your acting stuff's going well too, because you told me you were in a film that's coming up.
Yes, oh my gosh. A couple films, so we got a...
So that's pretty great. You were in Gossip Girl, and now you're going to be in a couple of films. That's pretty huge. Tell the audience what it's about.
Yeah, so...
I have to make sure the whole squash community comes to a screening.
Oh my God, yeah, so we've been working on a couple films. We got a grant from a film fund in Philadelphia to make a film based on the MOVE bombings in the 1980s. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
What are the MOVE bombings?
So in the 1980s, the government bombed like a street in Cobb's Creek, and a lot of people died, and it's been kind of like covered, like the story has been covered and not really, a lot of kids died that day, and
it's not well known.
It's not very well known unless you are from Philadelphia. They reached out to me to act in the film. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is an incredible story. I'd love to help produce it if you ever need any help. Oh wow,
so you're producing it as well?
As well as acting in it, yeah.
Wow.
Which is really
And what's
exciting.
What's the movie called, and when should we expect it to come out?
It's called Eyas, like EYAS. It's like, it means eagle fledgling. Yeah.
And when will it come out?
I'm not sure. Maybe in the next year, I would assume. And then,
let us know.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
And with the second one?
My dad, as you know, is an art dealer. He specializes in maps, naturalistic work, Americana work, and he commissioned us to make a film about Maria Sibylla Merian, who discovered and was able to bring to the world the discovery of metamorphosis, that butterflies come from cocoons. And So I also produced that
Wow.
film, and we got a grant as well. And we just finished the final cut for the film, so
that'll come out
that'll
soon.
come out really, really soon. And we just have to work on the music, and the composer just worked on Elio's Pixar. I mean, it's an amazing team, amazing group of people. The director is incredible. It's like my magnum opus. I cannot wait for it to come out.
Wow. Yeah. Will you invite some squash players to the?
My gosh, of course. Yes.
Okay. So, in addition to that, you're doing some commercials. You're working with some luxury brands, I understand.
Yeah. We just filmed a small commercial on Wednesday for this bridal company based in New York City, Atelier Ariel.
Do you think we could air that in this episode?
Oh my gosh, of course, yes, I'll send it to you. Here it is.
There we go. And in this work, as a producer, you're sort of finding the advertiser, producing the content, creating the content, and then giving it, and you're doing the whole thing. Do you have a production company?
Yeah, I
what's
do.
It called?
It's called Prodigal Daughter Productions.
Prodigal Daughter, your father must like that. I do like that, because you hear prodigal son way more than prodigal daughter, so I do like that a lot.
Yeah, oh, thank you. Yeah, we're struggling to find a name, and my producing partner, she's also a daughter, as many women are. We were just like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. It's such a powerful name that makes you, oh wow. Yeah.
You're really mixing all of these things in order to make money, right? So that sometimes you're acting, sometimes you're selling an advertiser, sometimes you're producing, sometimes you're doing all of these things. Does squash ever overlap with any of that?
In what way?
I'll give you two different ways, and I suspect the second, not the former. Number one way is the squash community clients. Like, do they ever help you close deals? Does that ever happen?
I've met some people in the film industry through squash, and they've been like extremely wonderful connections and relationships. It's immediate like kismet. Like once you meet someone who plays squash, it's because it's such a niche sport anyway, and they're in the film industry, it's like, you're sick just like me.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a good sick. I prefer to think crazy rather than sick.
Yeah.
And because crazy people do great things. And sick people are sick.
Agree. And sick people are sick. Yeah, sorry, that was
I'm going to go with
inappropriate.
crazy.
Yeah, crazy, special. I'm sure there's other words.
It's always true. Wherever you go in the world, if you find another squash player, you already have a community. It's like that.
It's like that.
Just add water. Done. So the other way that I was thinking of is I find that squash can be like a zen thing for me. Like it takes me away from the pressures of work. It has different kinds of pressures.
Yeah.
Do you find that at all?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, yes. It's so similar and so different than what I do as an actor and producer. I've never like really thought of myself as an individual. I think it's like I started acting very, very young. It's been my dream for forever to be a part of a production, to help bring a film to life that has a story that I'm really proud of and thinks needs to be told. I mean, obviously, like with art and squash, there's so much overlap. I think the intuition, being very in tune with your body and with the other person and the game itself is very similar, but it is really, really different. And I love the persona that squash gives me. I've been playing with this ex top 100 player just like for fun on Saturdays. Her name's Kat, and oh my gosh, she's she's amazing. She's from Germany, and like she's completely shifted how I see squash. Completely shifted. Like I used to get so frustrated when I used to hit like a wrong shot, just because I think with my industry there's no like wrong thing you can do. Do you know what I mean? Like if you make the wrong decision artistically, it's you know, you can fix it. You can work with other people and sort of change it or whatever. And especially as an actor, like you bear very little responsibility. Actually, you can blame a lot of other things. You know, you blame the director, you can blame the editing or something. But I think with like squash, you do have control over certain things that you wouldn't have as an actor. But yeah, playing with Kat has been so healing. Like I feel so much more confident in myself on the court. And it's like simple things, like, you know, I used to get so frustrated with myself, like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I like hit that shot wrong or whatever. She'd be like, no, stop. Like we're gonna stop playing right now. Like, what did you do wrong in that shot? And just do it better next time. It's really simple. Like, you just didn't hit high enough, so hit higher enough. Like, you higher next time. Like it's so simple. Playing squash just makes me simplify certain things, if that makes sense.
It does.
know.
It does.
Yeah.
I think I met you quite early when you. I didn't
Yeah.
realize actually. Now I know that I met you quite early when you joined Open Squash, and I've known you through this time, and I've seen you just blossom in every way. I think.
That's so sweet.
I've seen you.
Thank you.
Your game's improved. I've seen your. I don't know if I can. I know you well enough to say your confidence improved, but you go around with a sense of bearing that's, you know, I just think everything about you has blossomed here.
Thank you.
So I think everyone should play. So
I
if
agree.
you have a message to a young woman who's thinking about it, can you, to this camera, tell them why they should play squash?
Of course. If you're a young woman who is thinking about playing squash or coming back to playing squash, there is a community at Open Squash that is ready to embrace you fully and completely. Everyone here is so welcoming, so kind, like truly, truly kind. There is no negative energy or anything that's, you know, trying to not include you specifically. No matter what your background is in squash, whether you're beginner, intermediate, advanced, no matter what age, there really is a community here that wants you so badly. Like there's not enough women that play here and we want you so badly. Please, please, please come.
Although Abigail is correct that there aren't enough women here, it is the biggest women community in the city.
100%. It's really what got me to want to stay here. Like Kira, Adele, Thaisa, you know, Kat, Tanishka, like, I mean,
These are all the pros that play.
I mean, they're so welcoming, they're so nice, and they're incredible teachers. Like, they are so knowledgeable about the sport.
You know what I love about them all? They're all so different.
Yes.
They're all so great, but they're all so different. And yeah, it's very, very impressive.
They're so impressive.
Yeah.
It's true.
I love having my ass kicked by every single one of them.
Yeah, me too. It's amazing.
Abigail, thank you for spending
Thank you
time
so
with
much.
me. This was lovely.
You are so lovely.
And let's go play squash together.
Go play squash. We're
That's
gonna play
not a
squash
joke.
now.
We're gonna go play squash.
Okay. That was so lovely. Thank you, James.